pivots again. I didn't think there was gonna be many tips closed. I think I should have worn my rain suit today. Now I'm just all soaked. Hopefully there's not more tips closed. Got maybe half the pivot left, but we'll see. Yeah, we're good, except for these last two tips right here. I'm gonna get soaked if I go there, so I think I'm just gonna go get my rain suit. That's gonna be the easier job. Yeah, much better. Now I got a rain suit. Oh, there's a lot of rust in there. Let me unscrew this one while I'm at it. Oh, what? Must be a lot of rust in there. Rust of sand. There you go. See if I can get this one clear yet. There it is. Come on. There's just rust in the way. There you go, there's that one. I just gotta figure out this one. Need like a poking stick. I think I might have one here in my rain suit. Just have a little wire. Let's see if this will work. See if I can, there it is. Much better. Nice. Oh no. I dropped it. Where is it? There it is. Don't want to lose that. That's the handiest tool that I have in the rain suit. I use that all the time. There it is. Don't forget to open that one. Looking good. Just checking a few wells, well, not a few, but I'm checking all of them just to make sure that they're all still running and they're still making good pressure. And I gotta say, these peanuts are looking really good. Having nice green rows, getting nice good leaves. Looks good. So I was gonna turn these pivots off. I turned these on last week Saturday and they now made a full rotation back to this north end. I was gonna turn both these pivots off, but as you can see, they are not watering and there's probably lots of sand stuck down. Yep, well, there's a little bit of sand, but yeah, there it is. There's a lot of sand stuck in that pipe up there, so I'm gonna drain it, open the tips, make sure they're all watering good again. I already put the pivot back on reverse, so now it should water this because we're trying to pre-water it to where we can plant corn probably tomorrow or the day after. We'll see how it all turns out. But now, as you can see, it didn't really water here, so I'm putting it on reverse. Gonna water it up. It has to drive a decent ways, and then I'll probably turn it off. I just put it on a faster percent, so I'll probably just turn it off later tonight before we go home. Much better. I should probably clarify, we're technically not harvesting wheat. We hired a guy to harvest our wheat because we don't have our own wheat combine. We used to way back in the day, but we sold it because we didn't do much wheat. But this wheat is ready to go. They've been harvesting here. We had a previous field that they already harvested for us. And my dad talked to the guy and he said it was actually doing pretty decent. So we should get some nice wheat off of this field. And just checking to make sure the pivots are still running from yesterday. This one's good, this one's good, and this one's good too. So what I'm doing now, emptying out the nursing tank into this tank right here. This is just starter fertilizer. We're gonna use that later for whenever we plant corn on these two circles. I gotta empty this out, and then I gotta bring it to our other field, and I gotta bring some regular fertilizer into our pivot, or to our pivot, and then we're gonna water it to the pivot later. So I need to use this, so I'm emptying it out where I can take it away and haul something else. And we're empty. Gotta roll up the hose and head out. So before I show you what we're gonna do with our fertilizer tank, we have to first change all these splash pads around. I've done it before. You guys seen me do it a couple times before, but we're gonna do this half mile. It's gonna take a while. Good thing I got my brother with me. We both got our rain suit. We're both gonna go change around a lot of splash pads. And done. Just at the next pivot, opening a few tips because it's now going on to the peanuts. And all these tips need to be open, so we're just double checking just to make sure all these tips are open. This morning they brought fertilizer into this tank right here. I just barely connected the hose to the nursing tank, opened that valve over there, and all I have to do now is just turn it on and it'll fill up my tank full of fertilizer. Oh, gotta open this valve first. There you go. Much better. And now we wait. Before I go and do the rest of this with the fertilizer, the guys that are harvesting our wheat right here, apparently the pivot, there's a gearbox that is kind of getting stuck by itself, and then one gearbox doesn't want to move, so I got to go check that out, see if it needs a new gearbox or what exactly is the problem. Probably have to put a new gearbox on there, so I'm gonna go fix that pivot first, and then I'll continue with this nursing tank. I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. Looks like it works fine to me. Doesn't look like anything's wrong. He said it probably was a gearbox, but doesn't look like that gearbox for this one is being weird or anything, fidgeting back and forth or something, but looks like it's working fine. Oh well. And we pull up here to the pivot. And now we empty this tank into this tank. I can only hold 1,000 gallons at a time, but this tank can hold around 1,600 is what it says, but I don't know if it's exactly accurate, but you can anyways fit a whole lot more in there than one tank. So I'm gonna have to make 2 trips just where I can top this off. And we're transferring. It even decided to go a little crazy on me, and the hose decided to pop up out of there. Spreaded fertilizer all over the place, all over my truck. Even got some all over me, which is not cool, but I hooked it in differently. What we really need is some sort of nipple on every tank to where that hose can just pop up on there, but it works like this. We've done it for years like this, so I mean it worked, but it'll be nice to one day get something better. Time for load number 2. Second load. I'm just gonna fill it up to 1,500 gallons. And then after that, then I'll write it down on my phone just to keep track of what we've all brought in here. And then I believe tomorrow, since the fertilizer pump is here, tomorrow we'll hook everything up. That part from there to here is all hooked up. It just needs a connector from this part of the hose to the check valve right there that goes into the pivot. And then also make sure the wires are connected correctly to where it'll pump right. And then also check the pump to where it's pumping the right amount of gallons per minute. So that's the plans for tomorrow, but for today, I'm probably gonna do just one more load into that pivot after this one, of course, and then I'll probably call it a day, but I guess we'll see. Transferring. And this pivot does not have a fertilizer pump, so I'm gonna go to that pivot right over there. And I know that one has one, so I'm gonna take that one and bring that one over here. Got the pump loaded up. As you can see here, this pump is now completely hooked up. The hose from the tank goes here to the pump, and then from the pump into this check valve here. There's a check valve right about here to where whenever you turn off the pivot, any chemical that you put into the pivot doesn't wash back down and go into the pumps or anything like that. The only thing left to do is just to hook up this electricity right here. I could do it now, but I don't want to turn off the pivot. I want to leave the pivot running. We'll do that maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow the pivot should probably be around, but I'm not quite sure yet. But we'll probably do that tomorrow, hook up the electricity, and then we'll start pumping fertilizer onto the field. Nice, I like it. Some good wheat. He just finished this field. He's probably gonna move to the next one right over there. Last load of the day. This one's only 500 gallons. This right here goes to this little pre-tower right here. This is only like 15 to 20-ish odd acres. And it's not gonna need much fertilizer. 500 gallons, that's about all we're gonna put on there. So I'm just gonna put 500 gallons in here and call it good. I guess stay tuned for tomorrow if we're gonna turn on the fertilizer pumps or if we're gonna start fertilizing tomorrow. I'm not quite sure if the pivots are gonna get around, but I guess stay tuned for tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And it's tomorrow. Did you wait long enough? I'm not gonna make you wait long. We're putting fertilizer into our pivot now. The pivot just barely got to this end, the south end right here, so now we're sending it back that way with some fertilizer, pumping it out of the tank. I guess this pump didn't work, so we have a different one now. This pump right here just pumps the fertilizer into the pivot right here, and then it just disperses it evenly across the field. Peanuts are gonna get some good fertilizer, and they should really grow very quickly in the next couple of weeks. So thanks for watching.